Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this FS22 DLC review video. In this video we'll have a closer look at the upcoming DLC Hay and Forage of FS22, and we'll have a look at the shop and how we can configure the vehicles and all the facts concerning those vehicles and machines. Okay, so in the last part we had a look on the machines, how they stand here, and this time it's more about the theoretical facts and the configurations. Let's start with the beginning. The Reform Metrak H75. You have to pay 103,500 bucks, so game bucks, no real money, for this tiny tractor, and it has 75 horsepower, and I think I'll read only the facts that I find important. So to say, I don't find the volume of the gas tank so important, but the speed and the horsepower I find very important. So, and the speed is 40 kilometers per hour and the horsepower is 75. And yeah, we can choose between two wheel brands, but not the usual wheel brands. It is Meters and BKT. So they just look a little bit different, and you can't choose a different wheel setup. But you can choose a different color from all the available colors. So you could make it blue also. And here we can see it has all the necessary front attachments, and for sure in the back. So it is a real tractor, even if it doesn't really look like a tractor. So the next one is the Rigitrak. This is how it is called. I think you would call it Rigitrak, but Rigitrak would be the correct pronunciation if you pronounce it in the German way. But it is a Swiss brand and their language is a little bit different, so maybe they would pronounce it even a little bit different. So here you can't choose a lot. We have some different wheel setups, so we can choose twin wheels, then it is even wider, or standard. And like the Reform Metrak, it is a very special little tractor, and it is very low. And the main difference to the Reform is that this cabin has a slope compensation. So if you are driving at a slope, you stay upright. Yeah, and it has 75 horsepower also and 40 kilometers per hour, but it's more expensive. It costs 127,500 bucks. So now here we are. Yeah, and I think the higher price is mainly due to this slope compensation, because it's a luxurious feature. So somehow it is good for the health and for the spine. You don't get back pain so easy, and therefore it is rather important and worth the higher price. And here you have all the necessary attachments in the front and in the back. And then we have another Reform tractor. And Reform comes from Austria, and Rigitrak is a brand from the company Sepp Knüsel from Switzerland. So here Reform again, the Mountie 110V. It has a little bit more horsepower, 109 horsepower, and it is 40 kilometers per hour fast. And the price is 121,500 bucks. And as you can see, this looks like a tractor, but it's still rather low, much lower than normal tractors, because it is used in the mountains, like the name say, Mountie, and it has a front attachment and in the back everything you need. And the wheel brand can be chosen from Michelin to Meters again, and Vredestein and Michelin again. And here you can choose twin wheels, and with Meters you can't choose other brands, and with Vredestein also no other wheel setups. Yeah, a cute little tractor, and they use it in the graveyards also. I have seen images from this. And here we have this mini truck, the Muli T8X, and it has, you can choose, let's start at the left side and then we have a look at the vehicle, and then we have a look at all the configurations, because there are quite a lot of configurations for this Muli. So it has 109 horsepower and it's 50 kilometers per hour fast. And the price, the base price is 126,500 bucks. And if you choose the front mounting, 3-point front mounting here, and the special roof setup, it costs 10,000 bucks more. Yes, so here we can see, we can't really see the size of it, but it's tiny. It's really, really tiny. Like those tiny tractors, this is a tiny truck. And partly it can be used like a tractor, because this you can put a mower in front of it, or things to remove snow also. And here you can have a loading wagon or just a tipper or different kinds of attachments in the back. Yeah, and now let's have a look. The wheels can be chosen from Meters that we just had to Continental. Yeah, and that's it. And the wheel setup can be with rear twin wheels and twin wheels in the front and in the back. And with Conti you can't choose. Conti is a German, Continental is the official name. It's a German brand, and it has its main production building in Hanover, where I was born, in the northern of Germany, and there everybody always only say Conti, and therefore I say Conti when I read Continental. Okay, so let's have a look at the roof setup. This is already designed too. Here we see some lights in the top. Let's go to design 1. This is rather simple, and yeah, that's it already. 2 designs, and you can choose a beacon. This is in the back, and you can choose front mounting, 3-point or none. And you can choose the color from all different kinds of colors. Here. And here are the attachments for the Muli. This is the tipper. It has a capacity of 2,400 liters, and you can choose how it looks, with tipper and front guard, or just as a bale trailer, or a bale trailer with front guard, or a tipper without front guard, or both. And you can choose the color. But the color is not at the sides, but at the bottom and front and so. And then we have the Primalpine. Oh, I haven't read the price to you. This is rather cheap. It costs only 6,000 bucks. And now we have the Primalpine. This is a loading wagon, so a forage wagon. And yeah, it has a capacity of 13.9 cubic meters, and you can work with 70 kilometers per hour with this. And the price is 30,000 bucks. And you can choose whether you want to have a silage additives tank. Then you have to pay 2,000 more, and here it is, this silage additive tank. And when you fill this with silage additive, you get 5% higher yield. This is not like in reality. In reality, the silage additive helps with faster and better silage production. So when you collect grass and want to make silage out of it, with the silage additive, the silage becomes better and doesn't spoil so easy, and it's a little bit faster and so. And because we don't have all those spoiling processes in Farm Sim, we just get a 5% better yield. And we can choose the color again. And this is again only here in the bottom area. And then we have the Brielmeier. And the Brielmeier is like two different machines, and in reality it is like that you buy this main machine and then you buy the attachments, and you can have more attachments, and you can change the attachments at your farm, like you put a mower or a cultivator onto your tractor. You can change like this. But in FS22, you have to change the attachments in the workshop, so either in the workshop at the dealership or at the workshop at your farm, if you have one. And yeah, you have to pay for this, so you don't get two attachments that you can switch easily, but it's always like you go to the workshop. Yeah, it has 26 horsepower, and it is up to 8 kilometers per hour fast, which is really fast, and the working width is 4.2 meters. And the base price of the machine is 23,500. This is only for the machine. And then you pay 10,000 for the mower. And now we have a nearly different machine. So in my opinion, it's nearly two machines. You have a windrower. You pay more. It costs 12,500, and it's a small windrower. Yeah, and you windrow to the side like this. And I heard that in reality there are even more attachments possible to this Brilmeier. Okay, now we have a mower from Sepp Knüsel. Sepp Knüsel is a Swiss brand, a Swiss company, and they produce mowers, their own tractors, whom they call Rigitrack, and they sell stuff from other brands as well, so they have a lot of cooperations with other manufacturers. So Sepp Knüsel is very important in Switzerland. This is the Tornado 306, and the working width is 3 meters, and you need 52 horsepower. And you can choose whether you want to have lighting. And have a look at those signs here. Here we get the lighting, and we pay $500 more. The normal price is $12,500 bucks for this, and 500 more for the lights. And then we have the more expensive brother that looks really different, but as you can see it has the same number, Tornado 306 and Tornado 306 Plus, and it looks like a totally different mower. Yeah, and for this you need 65 horsepower, and the working width is 3 meters, and it costs $13,500 and so it's only a little bit more expensive, and I would say it looks a little bit more stylish. Yeah, but I'm sure it has more function. Someone said maybe it has a slope compensation, but I don't know this. And here we have the Krone Easy Cut F320 Highland. This is specially produced for the work in the mountains, and you need 65 horsepower, and the working width is 3.2 meters, and it costs $13,500, like the other one from Sepp Knüsel. And we have even more Krone products, and we already have quite some Krone machines in FS22. We had them in FS17, 19, and so on and so forth. So Krone is very well known to the farm sim world, so to say, and it is not a Swiss or Austrian brand, but German brand, and not from the Alpine region, but this series is especially for the mountains. So this is the Vendro 820 Highland, and it is a Tedder. You need 65 horsepower, and it has a working width of 8.2 meters, and it costs $17,500. And then we have another one, also a Highland machine, the Swadro S350, for just $6,000. And even if this little machine looks quite complicated, it is a cheap one. And you need only 30 horsepower, and 3.5 meters is the working width. And then we have from the brand Reiter the Respiro R3 Compact. This is a special windrower, a band windrower that doesn't work with a circle, but it brushes the grass or straw like a loading wagon, and then it is transported with this band, and it can be thrown to the right or left. and you need 90 horsepower, and the working width is 3 meters. And it costs 20,500 bucks. And then we have another one, which is double this size. This is the Respiro R7RD. You need 160 horsepower, and the working width is 7 meters, and it costs 91,000 bucks. And we have an even bigger one. It costs 125,000 bucks. And you need 130 horsepower, and the working width is 9 meters. And they are all those bent windrowers. And yeah, as you can see, this is folded, and as it is bigger, it has wheels here. And yeah, a nice, rather expensive machine. And here we have a more classical windrower with those typical wheels. It costs 92,000. It's from Pöttinger, and like with the Krone machines, we already have a lot of Pöttinger in the farm sim world already for a long time. And here we got 2 new ones, and those are bigger machines compared to most of the other stuff is for the mountains and very small, and those 2 are rather big. So that could make people happy who like to work with bigger grass fields and don't want these cute tiny machines, but more, yeah, for a lot of cows, and then zack working on a rather big field and getting a lot of grass together and making silage and so forth. And for this we got those Pöttinger machines. This windrower needs 115 horsepower, and the working width is 14 meters, which is not so bad. And it costs 92,000 bucks without any options, plus options as you like. So they have a spare wheel. And let's search it. There it is, there. And it's just sitting there. And now it's gone. It costs 150 bucks. And in reality, I think this is very useful, but for our gameplay, it is only nice and decorative. And then we have a swath curtain. And this is this here. And it helps with the swathing process. And you can choose it or not. And it has multitask. Those are those wheels. And they disappear if you don't want them. And then the last one is the Pöttinger Jumbo 8450 DB. It costs 86,500 bucks and is rather big loading wagon. So not very special big, but rather big. So 47.3 cubic meters. And you need a tractor with 250 horsepower. Yeah, and we have quite some configuration possibilities. For example, it has a pickup and you can choose not to have the pickup. And then you might ask, yeah, and can it work as a loading wagon without pickup? No, it can't without, but it is like that in reality. You can have a pickup or no pickup. If you work without pickup, it's not no more loading wagon, but it's a wagon to transport chaff, for example. It is used for working with corn chaff. So with the foraging of corn. And yeah, then they usually remove the pickup. The pickup is needed to get the grass or straw from the ground, because with the foraging they don't need it. The chaff comes from above, from the forage harvester. And yeah, so yeah, I know people who use it without the pickup in reality. But when you want to have a loading wagon, you need the pickup. And you can have a billboard or not, but it doesn't cost any money to remove it. You can choose a cover here. This, in reality, I think this is really helpful, because then when driving with it or in the wind, you don't lose too much of your load, but in the game it's more decorative, I would say. And you can have this silage additive tank here, there, and it gives you the 5% more yield, but only when it's filled with silage additive. Yeah, so that is the Pöttinger loading wagon. Okay, so those are all the vehicles and machines from the Hay and Forage pack. And just to remind you, the Hay and Forage DLC comes out on June 13th, on Tuesday, and it is part of the second year season pass. So if you have the second year season pass, you already own it, and you will get it more or less automatically as soon as it is released. And if you want to buy the season pass now, you can still do it, and then you also get the Göval pack and all the other packs of the year that are part of the season pack. And if you want to buy this pack as a separate pack, you can do this also. And before the release date, you get $1 off. And yeah, and you find links in the description below for ordering with my partner link. So if you want to buy this and you do this through my partner link, then you make me very happy. Okay, the next thing I will do with this pack on this channel is I want to try the most interesting vehicles and machines. So for example, the Rigi truck, and to have a look at the slope compensation and the Brielmeier and things like that. So not an intensive test of all machines, but a closer look on the most interesting machines. This will be in a different video. Okay, I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.